Hey, it's pizza time. Today we're gonna make you a grandma style pizza right here in our oven in the house. Check this out. We're gonna start off with 90 grams of warm water. You want it to be about 80 to 85 degrees. We have 4 grams of dry active yeast. We're gonna add into that water, and I'm gonna measure out about 2 grams of honey. And we're gonna mix this up real good and get it all into our bowl. Get it well combined. And get this on there, stir it right in. So we're just gonna give this a quick stir. We're gonna let this sit while we get the rest of our ingredients around for inside of our dough. So this is a really easy dough that's gonna make 2 12 by 12 pizzas, probably about 3/4 of an inch thick. It's super simple to make, and it takes about 24 hours to let it go through the whole process, but follow along with us. So for the dough itself, this is 578 grams of bread flour. We're going right into our mixer. We got 13 grams of Diastatic malt. This is gonna help with your rise and the browning of your dough. 13 grams of that. We're gonna put our hook on, get this mixed real good. We're gonna start adding the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so now we're gonna add in our yeast and water mixture and just give it a good swirl. Make sure you're getting all of it, put that in. And we're gonna let this run again for about 2 minutes. And I always run it on low. So what we've added so far is our yeast with our 90 grams of water. We got 578 grams of bread flour and 13 grams of diastatic malt. If you want to find diastatic malt, the easiest way to do is probably get it from Amazon, or if you have a baking store nearby. It's just a powder, and again, it helps with the rise, and it helps also with the browning of the dough or the bread. So now we're going to add cold water to this mixture. We need 296 grams of ice cold water. So I'm weighing it out here on my scale. You want to try to be exact. It's going to affect the moisture level of your dough, and it could get too wet if you put too much in it. So I'm going to take a little bit of this out. Right there we are, 296. So this is going to go into our mixture, and we're going to let it run for another 2 minutes. Okay, so this is what it should look like after 2 to 3 minutes on medium to mix the dough. Now, from here, we're going to add 13 grams of fine sea salt. Put that right in the dough, and we're going to put it on let it mix for 1 more minute. Last ingredient going in, this is 7 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Put that right in there. Now we're going to let this go for 2 to 3 minutes, or until this ball is nice and smooth, and we'll show you what that looks like next. Okay, this is what our dough should look like when we're ready to put it in a bowl. So I'm just going to take a little bit of olive oil on my hands so I don't get too sticky. I'm going to reach in there and pull that down off the hook. And we're going right in this bowl with it. I'm just going to kind of tuck it under a few times. It's nice and soft, a little sticky. That's how you want it, but it's nice and smooth. So we're just going to take this in. This is going to, again, give you 2 12 by 12 square pizzas, probably with a medium thickness, about 3/4 of an inch. We're going to put that in a bowl, and now we're going to let it sit out covered at room temperature for 1 hour. At that point, it's going to go in the refrigerator. In 12 hours, you're going to split it into 2 doughs. This is about 1,020 grams. You're going to want to split it into 2 510 gram dough balls. Smooth them up again, put a little bit of oil on them, put them in separate containers, let them go 12 more hours. That's your 24-hour process. After 24 hours, you're going to want to take them out when you're ready to cook them about an hour or 2 before. Let them come up to temperature. They'll make them real easy to work with. we'll show you how we make a pizza with this dough coming up next. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and make up a quick fresh sauce for our pizza. So I got 1 can, it's a 28-ounce can of Italian style peeled tomatoes, but these are Cento. You can use San Marzano as well. They work very good. We're just gonna put all of these into our little blender here. And if you want to squeeze them by hand, by all means you can squeeze them by hand. I'm not. So we're gonna put in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And this is coarse kosher salt. Just a 1/2 teaspoon of that. We're gonna go in with a tablespoon of Italian Stallion Italian seasoning by Malcolm Reed. And then we're gonna go with a 1/2 teaspoon of this Parmesan garlic seasoning by Heath Riles. Going in. Super simple. If you want to add a little sugar to it, you could. Take away some of the acidity, but I don't. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing blended up. We're just gonna pulse it a few times, bust those tomatoes down. We're not gonna puree it or anything like that. Take a look here. And that is the perfect consistency we want. Still a little chunky, smells wonderful, nice and fresh. You can pick up those Italian seasonings and also the Parmesan garlic. We're gonna get this put in a bowl. We're gonna show you how to make a pizza. Okay, so again, I explained the process. You had 12 hours in a bulk ferment kind of state, and then we split it into two 510 gram dough balls, and then we left it sit another 12 hours refrigerated, and this is what it looks like. I pulled it out about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and now we're gonna go ahead and show you how that we make pizza in our kitchen. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of oil on my fingers again, try to keep this from getting too messy. And we're just gonna pull this dough out. And this is gonna be super simple. We're going right down into this pan. There's not gonna be any rolling out, throwing it in the air, or anything like that.
Oh, come on.
We're gonna stretch this out to the corners. You can see how nice and airy this is. And just wanna be gentle with it. And this is a 12 by 12 square pan, as you can see. And that is lightly greased with Crisco. You could use oil too if you want. I like using Crisco for these. And you're just gonna keep kind of pulling it out to the edges. And if it starts to pull back, if you notice like you get it to the corner and it pulls back, wait about 20 minutes after you're finished and push the dough back out and it'll stay. So you just wanna keep working this out. And I'm gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes and make sure it stays out to the corners. And we're gonna go ahead and show you how we build it. Okay, so you can see down here in these corners, this did pull back a little bit. So again, we're just gonna go in, push it back out, and it'll stay this time. So you just had to let the dough relax a little bit. You can see some air bubbles already starting to reform in this dough after we put it in here. This crust is gonna have a really crisp bottom and be light and airy at the same time. So what I'm gonna do next is we're gonna use sliced mozzarella for this recipe. And we're just gonna go in and we're gonna try to stay about a 1/4 inch away from each side. And yes, I'm going cheese down first. You could call this an upside down pizza, but this is how I like to make these types of pizzas. So, and this is like paper thin. You could damn near read the newspaper through this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and sauce this pie with some of that marinara we made, or some of our red sauce, I should say. And we're just gonna put some dollops all around here. And spread it out nice and thin. Try to get all the way to the sides and the corners. Okay, we're gonna come back across with a mixture of mozzarella and provolone, shredded cheese. So not real heavy, just enough. Get a light little coverage on here. This is gonna go in the oven, 500 degrees, right onto our pizza stone. And for 8 minutes, after 8 minutes, we're gonna take it out of the pan and put it directly on the stone for 7 more minutes. And this piece will be perfect. Why are you looking at me like that? Okay, so this pizza's been in for 8 minutes. It's about ready to buzz right now. There we go. We're gonna shut that timer off. We're gonna open this door. You can see how beautiful that thing looks already. We're gonna spin this 180 degrees. So I'm gonna slide this in. My pizza peel, pull it up on there. We're gonna take it over here. We're gonna pull it out of this pan. So we got our pizza out of the pan. We're gonna open our oven back up and we're going right back on the stone for 7 minutes. We're gonna set our timer. 7. I'll show you what it looks like when she's all done. Okay, we went about 6.5 minutes on this, and about halfway through that 7 minutes, I checked it and I also spun it. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off. And we're gonna take it over here onto our cutting board. We're gonna put a couple more seasonings on it for you, and we're gonna cut into this bad boy. Okay, so our pizza's out, it's done. We're gonna go ahead and top it with a little bit of this Italian Stallion How to Barbecue Right. I'm just gonna go a little bit on top of this. And then we also have some fresh basil that we chopped up. We're just gonna sprinkle some of this around. Add just another layer of flavor. There you go, that's a Big Daddy's grandma style pizza pie. Okay, we're gonna cut this bad boy into, it's gonna be a 9-slice pizza. So we're gonna come over here, you hear that crunch, nice and crunchy. Right about here. And we're gonna come over to this way. Like so. Now there's only one thing left to do. Let's take a look at that undercarriage. Oh yeah, see that? Beautiful. Got a nice crunch on it, and you can see the air in that dough. Gorgeous. I'm gonna give this a bite. There's no need to go out and get pizza when you can make it just like this in your house. If you like this recipe, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Get you some of that pizza.